Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica and today I have another episode of Clone Wars. This is a series that my girl Amanda and I do where we dupe popular palettes with our own collection, whether it's a popular palette, something that one of us is interested in, a palette that has been requested, just kind of to dupe it so that we aren't tempted to buy it while we're on our no buys, or, some of our viewers request it because they don't want to go out and buy something and ruin their no buy, or maybe they just, don't want to add anything else to their collection. For whatever reason, we try to shop our stash and see if we can dupe these palettes. Our dupes are not going to be exact, and we have never said that they're exact because, it's not the same exact product. It can't possibly be exactly the same. This is more let's see what we have that is close to it to try to get a similar look to what we would get if we owned the palette. We're not saying don't go buy the palette, because if you want to go buy a palette and you're happy to do that, by all means go do it. This is merely a tool for us and for other people that really want other options besides going out and buy the palette. Now that I've gotten the disclaimer out of the way, I will tell you that this one is a request by Amanda. It is something that she was very much interested in. She wanted to dupe this. I'm okay with it. I'm not at all interested in it. It's just not my thing. And let me tell you what it is, because y'all are like, Jess, get on with it. Get on with it. It is the KVD Fetish palette. I've seen it pop up here and there, and it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know if it's the way it's laid out. I don't know if it's the packaging just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't interest me at all. I do think there are some pretty colors in there. I'm not sure that I like the color story in the palette as like a cohesive whole. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, and it's a scary place up there. But anyway, I do think that I duped this fairly well given my collection and the fact that this isn't my type of palette. I think I did okay, and it is not all Coastal Scents, and I know a lot of people are like, it's going to be all Coastal Scents, and it's not. I have Coastal Scents, I have Profusion, I have Elf, I have Bare Minerals, you name it, I got it. It was not the easiest for me to dupe, but I feel like I did okay with it. So let's get on to it. I'm going to have the picture up here of the palette and or swatches. This is another one of those where the palette doesn't exactly look like the swatches, so if I remember to do it, I will put both up there. And it was hard to find swatches on this, except for obviously you can get them live swatched, but there's not a lot of photographs, like still shots, that I could embed into this video, so bear with me. I will put up there what was available to use, and let's get into this palette. I usually do this like a book, where a top row work from left to right. This palette, it's not possible to do that. It's just a little too crazy. So I'm going to do like from left to right, top to bottom. So a little bit different from my norm. All right, starting with the first one, that is the color Nylon, and I have chosen the Coastal Scents Hot Pot in Thunderous. Let me give you a swatch of that one. And I didn't get much on my finger. That is Thunderous for Nylon. The next row is, the first one is Kink. It's a pretty purple color. I actually do like that color a lot. And I have chosen the Coastal Scents Violetta. And let me get you that swatch if I can get enough on my finger. And that is Violetta for Kink. I think that's another thing that, I don't want to say turns me off of this palette, because it doesn't really turn me off, it just doesn't do anything for me. Maybe I'm just not into the theming with the names and that kind of stuff. My channel is more geared towards family friendly. I mean, it's not about families, but like my kids watch when I'm around, and that's what I like to watch, things without suggestiveness, like blatant suggestiveness or language, and I think maybe that's just one of the things that I don't like about this palette, but that's personal preference. It's not for everyone. All right, getting back into the point of this video, the next color is Blindfold, and I have chosen Coastal Scents Mai Tai. This one's a really pretty color. There you go. And moving on to the third row, the first one is Deviant, and I have chosen Coastal Scents Green Steel. Looks like that. You get that swatch. I don't know why they call it green steel. I don't think it has any greenness to it whatsoever, but what do I know? I didn't name it. The next one is the color Whip, and I have chosen Coastal Scents Chocolate Berry, and that's what Chocolate Berry looks like. And the requisite swatch. Love that color. Absolutely love that color. And the last one in that row is Suspension, and I have chosen Coastal Scents Burnt Umber. I like the color of this one, but it is not one that I use very regularly. But it is a nice color. All right, moving on to the next row. The first one is the color Rope, and this one is by far one of my favorite hot pots from Coastal Scents, and this is in the color Root Beer. I love their metallics. I absolutely love their metallics. This is so pretty. Okay, the last one in that row is for the shade called Sex, and I have chosen the Coastal Scents Tangelo Tint. I know it's a lot of Coastal Scents so far, but the next one is not, so there is that. All right, this is Tangelo Tint for the color Sex. All right, my first non-Coastal Scents for the color Latex. I have a depotted shade out of the Profusion Eyes palette from a few years ago. I want to say 2016 maybe, and it is this shade right here. I do not know what it is called out of that palette because I don't have it anymore. If I have time to look it up, I will, but this is already running a little bit late. It should have been up this morning, and I'm filming it after it should have already been up. So there is that one. All right, moving right along to Obsession. I went into my Coastal Scents 88 palette, and let's see, H6 is the one that I chose, which is this shade right here. And let me get that for you. It's kind of it's a very dark blue with maybe a hint of purple. Not really sure if the purple will even show through on that. It kind of looks a little purple in the pan, but not when you swatch it. All right, that is that one. And the last one for that row for Chastity is another Coastal Scents Hot Pot, and that is Copper Glaze. Let me get that swatch for you. Beautiful, beautiful color. They're pretty colors. I don't know about them together. I guess maybe I just wouldn't have paired them together like that. Not my thing. All right, moving along to, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, Shibari. If that's wrong and you guys know how to pronounce that, please tell me because I just don't know. All right, this is the Coastal Scents Hot Pot HPME09. That's how long I've had it. It is actually now called Kiwi Green. Such a pretty color. Look at that. Love it. And the next one is for Corset. I have gone with a Bare Minerals shade, and this is Phoebe. It is just pressed into a pan. And that is Phoebe. Let me get you a better swatch of that. All right. I am going to run out of room on my arm here, so I am going to start working on the other arm. And let's see, we left off at Corset, so the next one would be Cuffs. And I have chosen, once again, from my Coastal Scents 88 palette, A11. So that's this last one right here in the corner. You get the swatch of that one. It's like a little awkward now that I'm switching arms. All right, let's try this. That didn't get enough on my finger. There we go. So that is my dupe for cuffs. La Petite Morte. I have also gone into the Coastal Scents 88 palette, and I have chosen H4, which is the last row, fourth one in. That would be the shade right here. Is like the darkest green. It's not that dark, but oops, I'm putting it on the wrong finger, folks. I'm putting it on like I'm swatching on the opposite side. I'm a mess. That's like the running theme with me lately, being a mess. All right, La Petite Morte. This is my dupe for that. And let's see, Submissive. Back to Coastal Scents Hot Pots. I have chosen Aluminum Taupe. Let me get that one. Not a great swatch. Can you tell I'm rushing and this isn't working out as well as I normally would do? All right, on to Rubber, which is H11 out of the Coastal Scents 88 palette. And if you're wondering what those numbers and letters are, I did them A through H and then 1 through 11 so that I can remember which I chose. And that is this black shade right here. Any matte black will do, because that's all it is a basic matte black. So there is that one. And Fixation is also from this palette, and I have chosen E1, which is this nudie shade right here. And, oh, my finger was a little wet there. Let me try that again. There we go. It's ever so slightly more pink than my natural skin tone. And Naughty, I have gone to e.l.f. for this one. This is from the e.l.f. Everyday Smoky palette, and I have chosen the fourth shade in that, which is the one that has the pan in it. And let me get you a swatch of that one. I know it's weird, it's not Coastal Scents. Pretty ugly swatches here. Here we go. Not the greatest swatch, but I think I've gotten used to swatching with my left hand. All right, moving along to S&M. I have chosen Coastal Scents Hot Pot in Ash Gray. Looks like that. Let me get that swatch for you. My fingers are wet, and when you're using the mattes, it doesn't like it that much. All right, there's that one. Just a few more left to go. I have, for Stiletto, I have chosen Coastal Scents Hot Pot in Spice Berry. Looks like that. I feel like I'm covered in eyeshadow over here, probably because I am. That is Spice Berry for S&M. Moving on to Dominatrix, I have chosen Coastal Scents Hot Pot in Peachy Pink. Looks like that. Let me get that swatch. This one's a really pretty color. And let's see, I've got two more. For Bondage, I have another one in the 88 palette. I have chosen H9, which is, oh, this one right here. This pretty red. I do like this color a lot. And because I can't swatch properly and my watch, I'm going to end up swatching on my elbow. Go figure. All right, and Safe Word is the last one. This is a shadow I use quite frequently for Clone Wars. This is the Coastal Scents Hot Pot in Pale Nude. And it is just a pale nude color, just like the name would imply. So there it is. It's a little crazy, a little haphazard, and I don't do the best swatches. It is what it is. But I enjoyed doing this. Amanda, girlfriend, this is for you. I hope I did justice to this palette. That is my interpretation of this palette based on what I have in my collection. And if you have any questions about what any of these eyeshadows are, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you have a palette that you would like us to try to dupe for you, just let us know. We do have quite a few on the schedule. I think we have stuff on the schedule through the beginning of next year. So if there's anything else that you guys would like to see, don't hesitate to ask. We will definitely try to fit it into our schedule if at all possible. Definitely go check out Amanda's video. It is already live because I am once again behind the times. Life happens, folks. Life happens. I'm smiling today though, so that's a good thing. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until I see you in my next video, have a beautiful day.